Well, even when I was single, to be honest with you, I really had no problem with being single. I mean, I never had a problem getting a woman. It's like I actually enjoyed myself. Really, I enjoyed myself as much as I enjoy myself now. It's like I always felt good about myself. I
That's the
always
key, I
had
think.
Yeah.
goals, and not only I would talk about certain things that I want to do, I actually reach for it and go for it. But bottom line is, if you're with someone at the time that's actually supportive of what you're doing, that's not down talking you,
Right.
Right.
never telling you what you can't do or what
Right.
you'll never be able to do, then you'll be okay.
Right.
And there's another thing with that. I think when we get in relationships, we sometimes either lose part of ourselves. We were talking about this too. How we compromise when we come together with somebody else, our personalities, and sort of become a different person. We lose our original
Identity.
Yeah.
identity.
Sure.
Right. And so how do people that are married for a long period of time retain that without, hurting the other person and making it seem like, oh, I want to go out with the girls or I want to go out with the guys. How do you
I think I would be the expert, or either you too, Jeff. You've got a lot of experience, but I will say how I'm able to maintain my identity. I've always had a very strong personality and always been very aggressive. You mentioned something about feeling good about yourself. I didn't have those challenges when I was single. It's just that my personality, I just like being committed.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just the way I am.
Yeah.
But maintaining my identity has not been a problem for me because Ken and I are like day and night. He speaks about 30 words a year and I speak 30 million. So we're very, very different. But that's what I guess that's how it has helped me maintain my personality because we're confident in who we are as individuals.
Or, like in my case, we became like as one, like a couple, just always together. and
Always
that-
together,
So it was like
right.
a two-person deal, and that so we didn't lose our identities, but we were just together as becoming one.
And how did you not lose your friends? Like, you start going together everywhere, and how did your friends or her friends
You have to
not
have
get upset?
like a wife that understands and is not so jealous and give you some freedom and stuff like that.
Right.
Certainly.
Exactly.
And would you say, Jeff, that you're no longer married? If you found someone that you wanted to get married to, do you think you'd do a better job of it this time around?
I think I would. I mean, I'm more mature, and I would be more careful in who I chose as my mate and make sure we liked the same music and stuff like that, and had a lot more in common than my first wife that I
Right.
had. So yeah, the second time around, whenever I'm ready, it would be a lot better. Because I've been
'Cause you've
through it
learned
and,
so
and-
much.
and know that the petty things don't matter.
Right.
Don't get upset if the toothpaste, the argument of the toothpaste is not squeezed right. Those things don't matter. The
Yeah.
love matters and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, you've been married, so you know what it's like living with women now. You should be more conscious than a single
yeah.
guy who's never been
Right.
married. I
Right,
mean,
right.
those are things that they might seem petty, but day in day out, 19 years interminable. I mean,
They become big.
they become big. I mean, it's sometimes
I
not the
know.
big issues that can stop a marriage. It's the little issues
Yeah,
because it's
every day after
in,
day.
day
So-
out.
Pick up your
Certainly.
socks, all this
Yeah,
kind of
I
stuff.
mean, it's
Like I was saying, where are you going? When are you coming back? And so
Right.
that gets monotonous.
It's one more
Well,
comment.
I think that also, when you're married, you have to be careful of the people you choose as your
Yeah,
friends.
there you go. That's true.
Because that right there would determine whether your relationship is going to last or not. Because for the simple fact, it's like if you hanging out with a group of people that you know that's going to strip clubs and
Right,
stuff
right.
like that,
That's
places
true.
where you know you're going to be tempted, then. And if you're trying to get away from that, well, basically, that's going to
that's
suck
right.
you right back into
That's
it.
right.
Certainly.
But you're trying to move on to that next level, or either you're moving on to that next level of maturity. You're gonna want to be around people that's on that same level.
Right.
That's right.
Because it's like you would have friends that would see you have a good husband or he's a good wife, and they would go all out to try to mess up what you have
Yeah.
because
That's
they
right.
want what you have.
Yes.
Right.
And so, bottom line, like for instance, it's just like some of my wife friends, right? It's like I would step to my wife's job and her friends are just, looking, and they're like, wow, but yet and still, they would be attracted to me. And then they would be like, do you trust your husband? Right off the top, do you trust your husband? I wouldn't trust him to go out, this and that. And then I would tell my wife, well, you need to be careful of who you choose for your friends
Right.
because they turn around and start talking to you. You start
Mess up your
believing them.
mind, yeah.
Then you start bringing that static over to me. That's
right.
going to run me over here.
Exactly.
And guys, I hate to interrupt, but one last question. We're going to end with one of Tracy's questions, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yes. I'm ready to get into this one.
All right.
I want to know, why do people cheat?
Allow me to be the
Go
first
ahead.
answer.
Okay.
Well, they cheat because they can. And that's the honest truth.
I've heard that
I mean,
many
it's
times.
like you can be married, and women will know that you're married, and they will throw themselves at you. You know, no matter what. I mean, and especially if you're in a high position,
Yep.
like Tiger. Okay, Tiger trying to focus on his golf swing, and he got women saying, Tiger,
Yeah.
you know. And so, bottom line is, you know, men and women, they cheat because they can.
I want to hear what they have to say about it before I answer.
You know,
Why
I
do-
actually have a very strong opinion about that. I do believe that women are drawn to married men or men in relationships, and I think it has something to do with the fact that, you know, they are supporting another woman. They sort of look like, you know, they're successful in a way in relationships, or like you said, in career. That makes it even more attractive because women are drawn to men that are successful in those two arenas. And so I've always wondered that, because usually, you know, you hear of married men cheating, and so I'm thinking, you know, those women were drawn to them for a certain reason.
Sure.
That's
So
true.
I agree with that.
Well, I mean, you know, it's an interesting, and it's the same juxtaposition between older men and younger women. You know, a younger woman is not necessarily looking for a commitment. So, you know, they see a married man, he's willing to fool around.
Yes,
They're like,
true.
okay, there's no emotional
Attachment,
responsibility.
yes,
Yeah, you know,
yes.
like I can go out and have fun with him. He'll
spend money on me.
Exactly. You know, why I think women cheat is, quite honestly, if you guys aren't doing it,
That's
we
right.
we will go and find
I
it.
agree with that.
And I
agree with
and I
that.
think it's the same thing for men. If a woman's not fulfilling what they want, or you know, they're not happy with their prospective person, they will go out and find it.
And that's sexually and emotionally too.
Yeah.
Right.
Not paying attention, not going out anymore, and not.
Yeah,
you know, like you said.
men and women cheat for different reasons. Sometimes men just a physical thing, but women is more emotional. They're not getting attention,
Right.
and the guy's not handling it in the bedroom or this kind of thing.
Right.
So, you know, that's why a woman will cheat. A man, faithful is his options. Like, that's what I think. Unless he's got that strong commitment of marriage, he's as faithful as his options.
Right.
Women throw themselves at him, he's going to go for it, being a man. Maybe not every one of them, but eventually somebody's going to wear him down, and you have no choice.
Somebody may wind up getting to him. I agree to. I agree to that. I mean, it's
Not
like,
every man cheats, but
Not every man cheats, but there is a certain woman. I mean,
Right.
just like
Just
a
find the right
woman,
one.
there's the right man can make any woman cheat.
Right.
You know, that may not be the right man for you. It may not be the right man for you. May not be the right man man for you.
Man, please.
Yeah, right man. Yes, but he's the right man for someone.
Right.
Right.
And if that person is not happy at home, believe me, that person is they're gonna do it.
Yeah,
Well
and also it could be like a time period. You know, like okay, they've been married for a while. They're trying to recapture something. You know, or
that's
There's
true.
a lull in the relationship.
a lull in the
right?
relationship,
Boredom.
or that one person
7-year itch, isn't that what they call
a
it?
7-year itch, or you know, like that one person sees something, you know, like let's just use a man and a woman, you know, a married man and a single woman, you know, the woman's younger, that woman looks at a man different than the wife does, you
Right.
know, and that provides something that the man is lacking,
That is
you
so
know,
true.
and likewise for a woman, you know, I mean, if a woman is a mother and she feels, you know, because she's a mother now, she's no longer sexy to her husband. You know, a guy comes along and thinks
Yes.
she's the most beautiful woman in the world.
Yes.
Not very many women can refuse that.
Hey,
Right.
I remember one time I was caught in a position to where basically, and this goes back to what I said, you know, be careful of the friends you choose to be your friends. I mean, it's like I was in a relationship at one point, and this certain girl who would always hit on me, you know, every night, you know, I always held on, but one night I saw her in some shorts. And I just lost it right there. I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And my friend literally grabbed me. He's like, no, Stan, don't do it, you know.
Right.
And if he wasn't there, I would have slipped up that night.
Right.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Wow.
This was
honesty.
really great.
Really,
Yeah.
really great. Thank you.
Okay, and we're actually going to wrap the show up, but before we do, we're going to have a Valentine's Day poem by Tracy.
Here's a nice Valentine's Day poem for you. It's called My Love. After so many years of loving you, after so many things that we've been through, still I couldn't find the reason. Tell me why I'm so much in love with you. The day you left me, my eyes could not stop crying. The day I lost you, a day didn't go by I didn't think of dying. Come back, my love. Someone is still waiting for you. Come back, my love. Someone will always be waiting for you. We would like to say thank you to all of our guests for joining us today, Stan, Jeff, and Erica.
Thank you for having
Thank you.
us.
You're welcome.
That's it for today. Thank you for joining us for this exclusive edition of Woman to Woman.
Happy
Valentine's Day,
everybody.